Hello! Excuse the mess because we're clearing out our hall, so things are moving and shifting and it's messy, but that's boring, so I'm gonna shut up and talk about books. The first book I read in April was Caravelle, and if you watch BookTube a lot or just like go into bookshops, you'll probably know what this is. It's been absolutely everywhere, and it's shiny, so it's kind of hard to miss. The basic premise of this is that there are two sisters on an isolated island, kind of living a boring-ish life with an abusive father and basically general monotony, kind of nothing much has happened. And then there's this mysterious island of Caravelle where this mysterious festival and, well, carnival takes place, and they're always being like forbidden to go, and there's one sister, Scarlett, has been writing letters for years and years and years to the leader or man behind Caravelle, Legend, asking for tickets to the carnival. So basically the beginning of this story is they get tickets to Caravelle, and then once they get there, Scarlett's sister Donatella goes missing, and it's all about how she tries to navigate the magical landscape of Caravelle to find her sister. Whilst I did think that the story was really well written and that there were some really nice descriptions and stuff in it, it kind of kept telling me that the carnival was like magical, mysterious and dangerous, and I really wanted to get into that atmosphere and that mood, but a lot of the descriptions were just kind of telling me how mysterious festival was. There wasn't kind of many other things like events or places or world building that made me actually believe and picture and get the sense of this mysterious thing. I just kept being told that it was like this cool thing, which I kind of went along with it in the end, but it was quite hard, especially everyone's been comparing this to the Night Circuit, so especially after reading that, where the writing is so rich and you do just feel like you're in that world. It was a little bit of a letdown on that side for me, and also I didn't really invest in the romantic element side of the story, which is kind of, it's not like a big part of it, but it is one of the main kind of plot lines throughout the book. I didn't really invest in that, but I did like how it all came together, and I thought the twists in it were quite clever. It is slightly rushed towards the end, but I know that there's going to be a sequel, so I'm looking forward to see how kind of the story progresses, because it does kind of wrap up quite neatly at the end of this. So whilst I enjoyed this, it wasn't like as amazing as I'd personally hyped it up to be, but it's still really enjoyable and I would recommend it. Next I read Wink, Poppy, Midnite by April Genevieve Tucholka. I'm really sorry if I messed that up. And basically we follow three characters in this, Wink, Poppy and Midnite. And they kind of each tell their own story of the same event, and the tagline on the front is a hero, a villain, a liar, who's who. And I really loved how this was written. Most of the characters are really into kind of books and fairy tales, and there's a lot of references to actual stories in this, but also the way it's written is very fairy tale-esque. It's quite not magical, but there is a sense of kind of intrigue and mystery, and kind of the plot feels like it should follow a certain path, and I really did like that style of it, because it's something I'd never really seen before, especially in YA. So this is kind of like almost like fantasy kind of writing style meets like a YA plot, and I thought that was really interesting, and I liked seeing how those kind of styles came together. However, because the book's quite short, I felt some of the characters were quite shallow. I didn't really understand some of the developments or decisions the characters made, and I thought some of them lacked some depth. Poppy, I wanted to know a lot more about her and her motivations for everything. I also felt the ending was quite rushed here, and the kind of intrigue was like explained away in a matter of pages and very neatly wrapped up, whereas the lead up made you believe that it was a lot more complicated than it actually turned out to be. So while I was kind of disappointed with the way the plot wrapped up, I really did love the writing style, and it's something that I think I will go back to just for that. I really liked the way the story was structured and the way it was told, but in terms of plot I thought it might have been a bit lacking. Then I read my first graphic novel of the month, which was Nimona, and this was so much fun. I just don't know how else to describe it, but just complete fun. So there's this character who I've forgotten his name, oh my god, Lord Blackheart, and he is kind of this super villain, and then this girl shows up, Nimona, and she wants to be his evil sidekick, but she's kind of klutzy, kind of quirky, and just chaos ensues. But then there's also a mysterious kind of backstory to do with her, and just the whole story is beautifully drawn, it's so funny, and it's really, really engaging. And I read this all in one night, and I just was completely hooked from like the first page. I really recommend this. Then I read The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli, and oh, I didn't know how much I missed Becky Albertalli's writing. Like, this was so good. I read Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, which she wrote, came out last year. Oh god, time is slipping away. But this book was incredible. I love her writing style. It's hilarious. She's so funny, and it sounds really cliche, but the book is really, really relatable. I think I focus so much on kind of escapism when I read, so I want to just travel to a different world, but I really underestimate how much I love relatable characters and how much I love narratives that I can actually connect with and are just about everyday life. I think it's really nice to actually see yourself in a book, and that's what I really loved about this. I mean, it's about so many things. It's about like being a teenager, being awkward, navigating relationships with close friends and the complications that come with that, like weird jealousies despite how much you love each other, and also, you know, family. And it's just so great, and it's also, you know, really diverse. It has lots of LGBTQ themes in it, like her other book, and I just really, really enjoyed it. I think I also read this in like a day. But it's just so addictive, so funny, and I love it. I love it so much. Then I read volume 1 of the reboot of Archie, because like many other people, I've been hooked on Riverdale since it came on Netflix, despite acknowledging the fact that it's complete trash, but you know, own it, it's fine. So this was basically just fluff. I mean, it was just really enjoyable. I mean, it's not groundbreaking, but it's quite interesting. In the kind of introductory letter, they said it's not supposed to be. They didn't want to reboot Archie and make it darker or take it in some new twist. They just wanted to just do more Archie. So it's kind of fun, it's light, it's sweet, it's charming, whatever, all those kind of adjectives. It's just, I enjoyed it, and the art was really good, so I recommend it. Lastly, I read Heartless by Marissa Meyer, and she wrote the Lunar Chronicles, which I've also read, and I really loved them. And this is basically an origin story for the Queen of Hearts in the story of Alice in Wonderland, and I really enjoyed this. It's basically along the lines of Wicked, although I didn't like Wicked, but it's kind of telling the untold story of the Queen of Hearts and how she wasn't always bad. It was so well written, and I loved the world building in this. Marissa Meyer really kind of sets the scene, and I think that was really impressive considering the fact that the world of Alice in Wonderland is one that we've seen quite a lot before in various films or novels or whatever. It's very familiar, but she kind of brings new things to it, which I was really happy about, and it just kind of kept me hooked. She really like developed this world of hearts and also the other kingdoms, and she made it feel new and exciting, even though it's kind of a retelling of a familiar-ish tale. And the story is quite slow paced. It's very much focused on, you know, the main character, and you follow her thoughts and feelings, and I really enjoyed that. It's quite slow. Did I say that already? Probably. Anyway, it's quite slow, but I really enjoyed kind of just being inside her head for that amount of time. I wasn't so keen on the romance. It was quite insta-lovey, but it kind of grew on me towards the end, and the way it wrapped up was kind of heartbreaking, and it really stayed with me. I don't know, I really enjoyed this, and I recommend it if you're a fan of Alice in Wonderland or just kind of fairy tale type things. I thought it was really well written, and it was really, really good. So that's everything I read in April. Please let me know what you've been reading, or if you want to talk to me about any of the books that I mentioned, that would be nice. And I will see you soon with another video. Bye!